Winter is coming. Both literally and scientifically. I got fuzzy socks yesterday, so you all know I'm ready. Hi. Hello. Welcome back to my witch obsession. And in today's candle wax reading, we will be asking the question about your next 3 weeks. I kind of wanted to do like a end of the year, what's going on by the end of the year, but that's not as time friendly. I wanted the reading to be timeless, so I'm gonna do next 3 weeks just because it also sounds a lot fancier than the next month. I don't know, you guys. Words are very important to me. But I know you guys really like these readings, or at least every time I don't do these, I get a few comments that are like, can you do more of these, And I love doing them too, but I don't know. It's hard to get a hold of these candles because I buy it from this local shop because I just really like supporting them. So I don't know. They said they'll order more for me and that they will call me. So I should be able to do a lot more of these if you guys would like that. I certainly would like that because I feel like these are a lot more engaging. Yeah, we have 3 groups here with these, as you can see, deformed candles because they also melted in my car. So pardon me. So we have group 1 here with this pink candle. And then we have group 2 with this red candle. They aren't the most glamorous candles, you guys, I know. And then we have this black candle. So yeah, if you've chosen your group, see you at your reading. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. The timestamps will be in the description box. And if you'd like a personal reading from me, I do offer those in my Etsy shop, which will also be linked down below. Other than that, see you at your reading. But if you'd like to sit and listen to me ramble for a little bit, then hi. Oh my gosh, you guys. So I was honestly kind of having a really not that great day because my molars have been hurting because my retainer is broken. So my teeth, my back few teeth have been, my entire top row of teeth have been moving a little bit, and it really hurts, and it's been kind of deterring me from eating, and that has consequently made me, feel sick and stuff like that. I don't know. But when I eat, it's fine. I don't know. It doesn't hurt. Science. But I guess what I'm trying to say here is that I know I'm adjusting to everything cooling down, this whole time change and stuff like that. And so what kind of, you guys are going to make fun of me, but what got me out of this mood was I was perusing Instagram, and this girl that she made this oracle deck. It's called the You Are Here Oracle, and I wanted it so bad last year. I literally turned the internet upside down for it, and it just did not. She was sold out. And I remember I was listening to Say Something by Twice, and now I just associate that song with that deck and that deck with that song. And I don't know what it was, but to me, maybe this is just like a compulsion, or maybe I'm just crazy, but to me, it really did feel kind of like an ends meeting kind of vibe, because I feel like that was like a loose end that I experienced last year in regards to something that I wanted and what intentions I was setting. And being here and being with you guys, I just feel really humble and grateful because I don't know. I love doing readings, and sometimes, like, understandably I get tired and stuff. I guess what I'm trying to say here is I just feel like this is an outlet for me, and I just feel like this is just something that really keeps my head above water because I love spending time with you guys. I love reading your comments whenever I can. Maybe not all the time do I acknowledge, like, do I like them or, and stuff like that, but I do try to read every single one of them. And I just love that you guys love what I do. It makes me feel really special, and I don't know. I just feel like I've really struggled with feeling special my whole life. And I know you guys, or some people, not saying that you do, but like I feel like people see it a lot easier than I do. Because truth be told, I really feel like anybody can do what I do. Like, I don't know, like I can't explain it. And by no means am I trying to fish for compliments or anything, or kind of like ask for reassurance. I just want to get that out of the way. But I'm just saying that genuinely, I feel like what I do is just kind of like a lot of other people can do it too, I just feel like they don't really understand that they can, you know. And I feel like, to me, like, I don't know about you guys, I feel like this ramble is so disjointed, but I don't know. I got into tarot really innocently and really passively. I just got a reading done by my friend, and I was like, ooh, I want to see how people feel about me, you know, and this deck of cards can tell me. And then, lo and behold, 2 years later, we were right here. But yeah, I just want to say thank you guys so much for allowing me to do this. I really appreciate that you guys give me this platform, that you guys allow me to, you know, like, profit off of this, and like also have the blessing of being able to spend time with you guys. I don't know. I just feel it just feels really good that we, like, I'm giving you guys something, and like it just feels right, you know, like it feels balanced. It doesn't feel like I'm taking something away from you guys or you guys are taking something away from me. It's like symbiosis, you know. I know maybe I sound a little bit crazy right now, but I don't know. I just think about this channel a lot, and I think about you guys a lot, because it's just, I don't know. I guess another thing that I'm trying to convey here is that winter is approaching, and sorry, I've been getting a bunch of weird messages and texts because the election's coming up. Anyways, I'm really hot. I need to change this. I'm in a hoodie right now. I'm going to change right after this, but I know that this winter things have been slowing down, and I know because, like, it's just science, you know. I was really thinking about it because I remember I watched this video last year, and this girl, she was like, I feel like when winter approaches and the weather gets colder, it's important to not try and continue to go as fast as you were going in the summer, and as nature slows down, we should slow down too. And that just like really hit a spot for me, because I feel like last year I really did try to keep going in the winter, and I really did try to push myself in areas where I really didn't need pushing. And I feel like this year I'm full on embracing the fact that it is a time to slow down, and it is a time to, you know, make room for anything really. And I just feel really good about the work that I've done on myself this year, and I hope that, you know, like, I can continue to keep learning, you know, because and you know, if you keep up with these rambles, and you know that like I've gone through a lot of changes this year, and a lot of heartaches and a lot of endings. And truth be told, I feel like a lot of those endings were just some of the best things that ever happened in my entire life, because it just feels really good to be away from things that were hurting me and were causing me pain. And now I feel like this winter is going to be about planting seeds and watching them bloom in next spring, which, by the way, I love spring. Oh my gosh, this past spring was one of the best springs of my entire life. I don't know. And honestly, you guys, I feel like I dump on you guys a lot, because I just, whenever I feel this way, I really want to just like express gratitude to people, or I really want to just tell someone it's like I feel like I have a lot of love in my body, and I want to like dump it on something. And I know that sounds kind of cliche, but truthfully, I feel like a lot of my friends and a lot of people I'm surrounded by are just not that emotional as I am, or they aren't as, you know, they're a little bit more detached than me. And because of that, I feel like when I express love to them, it kind of, I know they, you know, appreciate it, but it kind of makes me think of like when you give a kid a pepperoni pizza and all they do is pick the pepperonis off of it and they leave the actual pizza, you know, that's what it feels like, you know. It feels like they just kind of take what feels right, and they take what they can process, and everything else just kind of gets left there. And so like because of that, I just kind of keep it to myself, and I kind of just, you know, journal it and whatnot. If anything, I learned to give it to myself, which can turn into shopping, which I'm not gonna don't judge me. But I don't know, guys. I feel like this is definitely one of my most unhinged rambles. I'm like thinking about like restarting it because I feel like I sound crazy right now. But I don't know. I really appreciate you guys, and I feel like the reason why I just feel so good about appreciating you guys and love you guys is because I know that you've stuck around and that some of you guys have been with me since all the way last year, last year of like September, October, when I had like 40 subscribers. And now we got 2,000. Girl, if you put 2,000 people in a room, that's a lot of people. But yeah, I'm just, not all 2,000 are watching right now. There's maybe like 500 of you, which that's still a lot of people, you guys. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like what I also want to convey to you guys, and my biggest point in all this is I hope that you guys will slow down with me, and I hope that you guys will bear this winter with me, and just know that like I really, really do appreciate you guys. I love you guys so much, and I love when you guys like buy readings from me and stuff like that, because it's just like I love being able to interact with you guys individually because I feel like it's more meaningful. But yeah, I don't know. I really appreciate you guys, and I really appreciate all that you guys do for me. I feel like what I do for you guys compared to like what you do for me is just like I don't know. I feel like I'm just like sitting here and you guys are just like giving me the world, and I'm like, whoa, what's all this? Anyways, I really hope this ramble made sense. I hope I don't sound insane like I said, but I don't know. I love you guys, and I will see you at your reading. Thank you. Thank you. Also, if you want to spend more time with me and you want to listen to me more, I do have a ramble channel, which will be linked down below as well. Just like, I don't know, whenever I promote the ramble channel, it's not like, OMG, go subscribe to it. I'm like trying to have second channel vibes, but more so in a way that like I genuinely, like, if you want to spend more time with it, is that. Anyways, see you at your reading. I love you. Hello, group 1. If you chose this pink candle that has black stains on it, then this is going to be your reading for the next 3 weeks. So we'll just be looking at, like predictions, any messages, Let's get right into it. I feel like you're going to get the hang of things. I'm feeling head in the clouds. I feel like you guys may be in a very daydreamy energy. And I feel like a lot of your dreams/daydreams may tell you a lot these next 3 weeks. I also feel like for some of you guys, you'll be nervous or you will have a lot of extra energy. It would be really nice for you guys to invest in a hobby or something where you can kind of fidget, or you can kind of like mess with something, something more hands-on. One of these shadows looks like a fidget spinner to me, that's why. I've been planning to buy slime so that I can just mess with it, so something like that. You don't have to by any means, I'm just... I feel like it's really important to understand finding solace as opposed to trying and evening everything out, Instead of being like, oh, I can relax after this is done, or oh, I can take a break after this is done, or oh, I can do this when this is done, Instead of constantly going back and forth and kind of relying on your external circumstances to kind of dictate as to whether or not you can take time for yourself, I feel like it should be the other way around. You're gonna have to take care of yourself these next few weeks, not because anything bad will happen, but because it's just a sense of like, the more energy you consume now, the harder it will be. It makes me think of when you're running a marathon, you don't want to sprint the first, whatever, maybe the first few miles. You really want to pace yourself, There we go. You really want to pace yourself these next 3 weeks. That will yield the best outcome. For some of you guys, maybe you want to go on a vacation. I don't know, something, or some of you want to get away. Something about that dad could be significant for some of you guys. Yeah, be wary of your diet as well. Don't don't like splurge too much when it comes to your diet, you know? I don't know. These little droplets look like nerds to me. So I just feel like it's really important that you guys are watchful of what it is that you're consuming and that you offset things and you learn to kind of balance things these next few weeks, especially because you will be needing to pace yourself. So it's kind of like you want to make sure that your other habits and other things that you are putting into and doing to your body kind of allow you to pace yourself, you know, and allow you to have energy. I feel like for some of you guys, music's very significant. I feel like some of you guys will be, I don't know, like I just got a random vibe that maybe some of you guys will listen to a song or you'll hear something or something of that nature and it will remind you of something. For some of you guys, a cousin could be significant. And also, I just feel like some of you guys are very artistic. You guys have really beautiful minds. Express it. You could produce some really beautiful things these next few weeks. I'm like thinking of like someone who creates something beautiful and then they hang it up, you know, and then people come over and they're like, "Oh my gosh, where'd you get that?" And you're like, "I made it," you know. Be proud of yourself because you're really good and you're very creative and you're a very inspired person when you know like something intrigues you. Flowers could be significant, especially pink flowers, just because these look like cherry blossoms to me. I feel like some of you guys, these next 3 weeks, you might hear from something or learn something that is has history and it will like I feel like these next 3 weeks light will be shed on something that you were curious about for a while or something that you felt like it like think of it as an unsolved mystery suddenly getting solved, you know, like those true crime things where they find the person who did it or they find out what happened years later. I feel like that's the kind of vibe that's going to be happening these next 3 weeks, obviously not to couple of years scale, it could even just be a few days or weeks, but I feel like something you will find out something in these next few weeks that will really surprise you and really answer a lot of questions that you were probably asking a while ago. And I feel like it will really satisfy you and bring you peace if you allow it to. In the sense that you shouldn't don't be bitter about it or don't be like, "Oh, like I this would have been helpful a while ago." There's a reason you didn't know at the time. Yeah, I don't know why, but something keeps coming through about be careful what you put into your body. Something about like I keep thinking of like Virgo energy, the intestines, you know, like your diet, food poisoning. Not that you will get food poisoning, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not what this is, but it's more so of like you just really need to be cautious of what you put into your body. I'm trying to see what else. Also, I don't know what it is, but these all look like blood cells to me, like flowing through a vein. Don't be quick to blame somebody. Don't be quick to jump to conclusions these next few weeks. Just because you find out about something doesn't mean that you should immediately jump the gun and be like, this is what happened, you know? Or this is who did it, you know. Ooh, I just felt nosebleed. I feel like somebody very attractive. Someone will find you very attractive. Some of you will see somebody very attractive. If you guys are in a relationship, whoever you are with is going to really, they're going to be licking their lips looking at you, if y'all know what I'm saying. But for others of you, I just feel like a lot of people will notice you. Interesting that I mentioned the blood cells earlier. Blood will be flowing, if y'all know what I mean. Some of you may see somebody that you haven't seen in a while, or you may drift apart from somebody. Don't try to force things. As in, like, don't, like, if you and another person are drifting apart, it would be wise, or not wise, but don't think that it's all your fault, you know? Don't be like, oh my god, it's because of me that we're drifting apart. Like, no, it is a relationship between two people, so something. I feel like these next 3 weeks are gonna be very surprising. I'm just feeling a lot of chance meetings and ends meeting and situations just like it's gonna be really exciting. It might keep you on your toes, and I feel like that's especially why it's important for you to kind of maintain yourself so that you have energy to participate in these things and to kind of, you know, acknowledge them and see what they're about. Be wary of your social media consumption these next few weeks. And be careful what you show on social media. I feel like for some of you guys, it will be a little bit difficult to keep up with everyday tasks. Don't beat yourself up about it. You know, if your laundry starts piling up or if the floors need mopping, it's just like you'll do it, you'll get it done. You know, don't beat yourself up about it. Don't be all like, oh my gosh, you know, like this, I'm so lazy and stuff like that. Like, no, you don't need to do all that. Yeah, I feel like this next few weeks, you'll also really take the time to cover things, or you'll really be getting all the corners, but be wary of spreading yourself too thin. Once again, pace yourself. Because I'm noticing that, like, I just really want to cover this whole thing with wax. So it's just kind of this sense of, like, I feel like you guys are going to be very thorough in your approach these next few weeks. But I feel like at the same time, you know, you only have so much space, you only have so much resources. Use it wisely and don't spread yourself too thin. And of course, don't give to people that are not giving you back. You know, like if somebody, if you pay, like you give somebody money and then they don't pay you back, I would suggest not ever like lending them money like that again. And obviously, the money is just a very easy example, but I feel like this can be compared and, you know, like I feel like that can be used as a metaphor for so many other things. You know, like you vent to somebody and or like somebody vents to you and you listen to them, you give good advice and you're like out here, you know, being like oracle vibes, and then you're going through something and they're like, yeah, cool, cool. And then they just like hang up. It's just like that was not the same energy, you know? Only put yourself in situations where energy is being reciprocated. And don't play dumb either, because I know you guys know. Lots of love coming these next 3 weeks. Very exciting. Especially because it's a pink candle. Let's not lie. I feel like there's a birthday. Happy birthday? I don't know. This over here looked like tissue paper, and tissue paper makes me think of birthdays. It's really important to moisturize these next few weeks. Okay. I'm just gonna look at it for a second. Yeah, I feel like you can kind of see how this is just like a big chunk of wax in the middle, and then there's like a bunch of little flyaways around, the little droplets. And I just feel like that really goes to show that these next few weeks there will be a bigger picture, and that all of these things will kind of lead you to something bigger. And I feel like in saying that, these next few weeks you'll notice a lot of petty details, and you'll notice a lot of petty revealings, petty situations, and this can manifest a whole slew of different ways. But the biggest that I'm feeling is that, like, situations that seem very minuscule, and you're kind of like, what is the significance of this, or like, oh, it doesn't matter, but then you find out it leads to something bigger. I can't really think of an analogy. I feel like it's one of those things where it's like a general thing. But yeah, and I guess what I'm saying is, don't get too attached to the details, and don't be afraid to zoom out and kind of look at it from, more far away and a more distance, because I also feel like when you're going to be in the thick of it, it's going to be kind of hard to, be unbiased and kind of detached, so that you can allow the situations to unfold the way that they need to. Because I feel like there will be a point where you do know that it will be all hands on deck and you need to do something about it. So it's just like, allow things to communicate with you, and listen to your body when it's also trying to communicate with you. It's just like, don't try to keep taking matters into your own hands, especially if you are not being met with great success with it. So yeah, that's all I have for you, Pile 1, Group 1. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the reading resonated, and if it did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like a personal reading from me, I do offer those on my Etsy shop, which will be linked down below. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Again, I love you. Bye. Hello, Group 2. If you chose this red candle, this is going to be your reading for your next 3 weeks. Predictions, advice, etc. Anything that comes through. So yeah, let's get right into it. I feel like it's really important that you don't hang on to something that you need, or like something that you don't need these next 3 weeks. It's going to be very obvious what you do need and what you don't need. I just feel like it's really important that these next 3 weeks you admit to yourself when you want something and when you need something. Because something about that just makes me feel like it will make a lot of things easier to discern, and it will make things easier to prioritize and kind of organize. I feel like something exciting is coming these next few weeks. These look like fireworks to me. Some of you may also go traveling, or I feel like some of you guys will educate yourselves more, or kind of take it upon yourself to read into something, or kind of passively look into something. And I feel like education, learning, the digestion of information will be very prevalent these next few weeks. And I feel like it will bring you a lot of excitement and a lot of revolutions, especially in regards to your emotional well-being and your health. I feel like something that you've been wanting for a while, or something that you felt like you couldn't have for a while, will come into fruition or will make its way to you. I also feel like there's something that you came into the possession of that maybe you didn't really like at first or didn't care about, but I feel like these next 3 weeks you will suddenly really like them. It makes me think of like when you buy like a shirt or something and you're just like, oh, this shirt's nice and all, but then suddenly like one day you're like, oh my gosh, this is literally my favorite shirt in the whole world. Don't be afraid to set boundaries. You need to set space and time aside for yourself. And you need to acknowledge when something is pushing your limits. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are already very good at this, but these next 3 weeks, it will be especially important. And you won't really understand until you just do, in the sense like, it makes me think of like those silly cartoon videos where like someone's on a bridge and then they run off the bridge and then they're like, we made it, and then they turn around, the bridge just completely falls apart. It's kind of like they were quick, and you can kind of tell that they meant to be quick, but then it doesn't really make sense until after all that happens. And that's why I feel like it's also really important to not sit there and second guess yourself. Trust your gut. I feel like some of you guys may get into, I don't know, something about origami could be significant. Pay attention to breathing. I feel like something about your breathing is going to be really important these next few weeks. I don't know what it was, but something about the humidity, something about the air filter, something about breathing exercises, it's just making me think. I feel like you guys are in the midst of a sticky situation right now, or you feel like there's a situation that requires urgency, or it's a very urgent situation, or there's clearly something that you guys are concerned about. It will reach a conclusion these next 3 weeks, and don't worry, it will be a good conclusion. But it's really important that you don't try to force it, because I feel like otherwise you will be forcing it until you are completely out of energy. And at that point, you will only have done harm to yourself. Bring beauty into your life these next 3 weeks. Don't be afraid to spruce in your space up, dress up, and, do beautiful things, or things that bring beauty into your life. Ooh, I feel like you guys might remove something or kind of realize something that's been causing something like, I don't know. I just thought of like when something's going bad in the fridge and you're kind of like, why does the fridge smell so bad? Or why does the kitchen smell so bad, And then you find it and you throw it away, and then suddenly like it's just everything's gone back to normal. I feel like something like that's going to happen these next 3 weeks, emotionally, maybe even physically, or maybe literally something like that will happen to you guys. It's going to be important that you get comfortable, because your patience will be tested these next 3 weeks. And not like in a bad way, but more so in a way that like you will be impatient. I feel some of you guys are impatient. Take your time. Allow things to unfold. It won't make sense now, like I said, but later on it will. And even if it never does, it happened for a reason. Yeah, something about the home is very important. And the mother too. The mother, the home. I also feel like there's going to be an area of your life that hasn't received that much attention in a while, will suddenly be brought up to the surface, or there's just something in your life that kind of went under the radar, or kind of went even like abandoned or something, and it will just randomly become important again. face your fears, something about that. I feel like some of you guys are facing your fears, or you guys will be facing your fears in regards to something that is currently going on in your life. When faced with a huge issue or when faced with anything big these next few weeks, take it upon yourself to really break it down. And don't be afraid to ask for help when needed. People will step up when they want to, so surround yourself with those because you are one of those. You don't need to be around people that aren't willing to give you what you're willing to give them. For some of you guys, cartoons could be significant. I feel like some of you guys will be connecting with a child, your inner child, children. Something about that could be important. New Mexico could be significant for a select few of you. My head just started hurting too. Don't overthink things. I just heard burn it all down. Something about smoking too, just because I saw a little ash right here. It looked like when someone flicks a cigarette and the ashes fall to the floor. Be careful what you wish for. It will come true. Ooh, you guys, be wary of somebody. There's somebody that is just giving parasite, it's giving energy vampire, it's giving tick, it's giving bedbug, it's giving lice, it's giving bloodsucker, it's giving mosquito. Like there is someone, you know who, I feel like this will start as kind of like a premonition, or you will see somebody and you'll just get like a feeling about them, and you will have like a visceral reaction. You need to listen to that. That's for some of you, not all of you. I feel like that's a very specific message. Obviously, like this is a reading for a lot of people at once, but I feel like some of you will receive help, or some of you will give help, and it will be like life-saving. It will get you across very treacherous waters. And I feel like some of you guys will run into somebody or something that will really help you with something that you thought you really couldn't do. Or if you did it yourself, it would have taken way longer. I'm like, I don't know. Be wary of the media that you consume these next 3 weeks. In terms of like social media, TV, what you watch, Some of you are about to be eating good these next few weeks. I'm feeling some of you guys are going to get some really... Y'all want to eat. This is so silly. I'll tell you after the reading's done, or after this candle runs out. There's going to be something in your life that's beautiful, but it's not right. Don't make too many sacrifices in the name of the aesthetic. And if you do your research. I'll give you another example in a second. The letter Y could be significant. Okay. So the first thing I was thinking of was this episode of SpongeBob where they were like cavemen and they discovered fire and they stuck a twig through of just this plant and they cooked it, and I just remember it looked so good. It was just, It was eaten. That's what I feel like y'all are about to be on these next 3 weeks, especially because of Thanksgiving. This reading is timeless, by the way, but I was also thinking about that beautiful but educated thing. It makes me think of when you keep decorative or ornamental plants, but they're really toxic. Like, for example, castor bean plants or oleander. They're extremely toxic plants and they are lethal, but they're very beautiful as well. And they're used in a lot of decor, in a lot of gardens and stuff like that. And it requires a level of education, especially if you have like pets and stuff like that. So I just feel like if you're going to be investing in something these next few weeks, or if you're going to be looking, just like when you're looking at anything beautiful or beautifying your world, don't just do it, like do the research and, fill your space up and bring this beauty in with purpose. Don't bring in things just for the sake of it, because I also feel like you guys may run into clutter. I also think it's interesting that your wax drops are mostly just this one big clump. So I just feel like these next 3 weeks will definitely be very cohesive. I get like a lot of cardinal energy here. So I just feel like these next few weeks will be about taking one step in front of the other, one foot in front of the other, And, when you take a foot back, it will be in the name of retracing your steps, remembering something, making sense of some things before you keep moving forward. So it's just, do understand that if you feel like you're moving backwards these next 3 weeks, it's not because you're moving backwards, but it's more so you are kind of strengthening something that maybe didn't make sense before, and it's better for that steadier foundation. But yeah, thank you so much for watching Pile 2. I hope your reading resonated, and if it did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you'd like a personal reading from me, I do offer those on my Etsy shop, which will be linked down below. Other than that, thank you so much for watching again. I love you. Bye. Hello, group 3. If you chose this black candle, this is going to be your reading for your next 3 weeks. Just advice, events, predictions, etc., etc. So let's get right into it. I think it's interesting how long your wick is, and also I'm sure you guys have noticed, but your candle is actually pretty short compared to the other 2 candles. So I just feel like these next 3 weeks are going to go by really fast. And I feel like the color black, just in general, I just feel like some of you guys will go through a lot of releases. I'm hearing beautiful or cute but psycho, or like beautiful but deadly. Some of y'all gonna be looking real fierce these next few weeks. Count on that. You'll have a lot of eyes on you. Oh, I feel like you guys shouldn't really, don't pay attention to too much or put too much value into what people are saying these next few weeks. I feel like some of you guys can get a little bit confused within communication, but I feel like this next few weeks, people's actions and how they're acting will be extremely colorful, way more than what they're saying. So with that being said, go off of people's actions, what they're doing, not what they're saying. I feel like you guys are very intuitive people and you have been manipulated in the past, but this is a time where it's kind of the sense of like, you will know, and it's important to listen to yourself. I feel like somebody will also try to reach for something, or you, like I'm hearing grasping for straws or out of line. I just heard a stupid joke. I just heard use y equals mx plus b to find the slope of the line that you just crossed. I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say here is that I feel like a lot of true colors will be revealed next week, which I feel like there's some irony in that since you guys did choose the black candle. You guys really keep it real. But that doesn't mean you don't show up when you need to, or when, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all just keep it real, but y'all are the most loving. And I feel like that's your love language. And I feel like you should be around like-minded people or people who understand you. Don't change yourself. And I'm not saying that you will or anything like that, but I'm just saying that that's especially these next few weeks. These next 3 weeks also, unless people tell you directly, it is not your problem. I just think it's really interesting how a lot of things about communication are coming up in yours. You should surround yourself with people that appreciate things for what they are instead of you having to explain it. Evil eye protection will be very good for you. I also feel like you may come into a very beautiful gift, or some of you may buy something very beautiful, or somebody might buy you something very beautiful. Don't try to force yourself to make people understand, and let go of grudges. For you, not them. I'm hearing villain era. I thought of that polka dot dude or that spot dude from Spider-Man, and also Cruella de Vil. Ooh, if someone steps on you or someone tries to play dirty to get where they want, and it require like they do you dirty to get to where they want to be, just know that they will be punished, or they will face consequences. Your spirit guides are very protective over you. And I feel like you guys are very protective over yourselves as well. Eclipse season was very significant for you guys. This reading is timeless, by the way, but I just feel like something about eclipse season is really important. Something about painting could be significant. I feel like, with that being said, just know that everything that's in the works right now is not going to look cute until after it's completely done. I'm thinking of those videos where those guys literally paint with a broom and they throw a giant bucket of paint onto a canvas, and it just looks so hideous, but then when they're done, it's like the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. I feel like that's what's going to happen for you guys. There's just things in your life that I feel like will take off these next 3 weeks, and some of them will start kind of meeting their, like, getting to a point where they start looking the way that you want it to, or it will start making sense. A very fruitful next 3 weeks, and a culmination point of some projects that you have been seeing through for a while now. Some of you could talk to someone from a different state or even a different country. Something about international could be significant. I feel like some of you guys will be celebrating something in the next 3 weeks, or something about nostalgia could also be important. I feel like some of you guys are ready to bust out the Christmas stuff. Like I said, this reading is timeless, but I just feel like, if you're watching this when I'm uploading it, excuse me. It's really important that you vent these next few weeks and that you don't hang on to things find a way to vent your feelings or to kind of express yourself. Maybe painting, because I just feel like you guys will end up very upset, or it will make certain tasks a lot harder just because you're holding in so much. You don't have to vent to another person if you don't want to, but it's just like, if you can do that, that'd be pretty great. But, like keep a journal, draw something, just any way to express yourself, any way to get your feelings out. Don't worry so much because you'll know what to do. I feel like in a very stressful situation, if you run into something that really stresses you out these next few weeks, just understand that when you're put under a lot of pressure, you will come up with a solution last minute. I just feel like you guys are very quick-minded and you're very good at solving a problem and you're very good at buckling down when you need to. But it's just kind of one of those things where it's not unlocked until, it's like, I don't know. Just trust yourself these next 3 weeks because I feel like you guys have done a lot worse. And I'm not saying these next 3 weeks are going to be bad or anything, but I'm just saying that if you happen to run into a very stress-inducing situation, just trust yourself and keep your head above water. A clear mind dominates all priorities these next few weeks. The word mutation came up. I don't know if that word is significant to any of you guys. Ooh, pay attention to your dreams these next few weeks. I feel like some of you may have dreams that seem like simulations or something. At the very least, there'll be fun stories to tell or fun little dreams to remember. At the most, they will be foreshadowing moments. Conditions will be met. There will be certain conditions that kind of line up magically that allow you to go to the next step or, go to the next level in whatever context that resonates. I don't know why, but I just thought of a leather jacket. This just looks like a leather jacket to me. Nothing is set in stone, you guys. I feel like these next 3 weeks, things will be a lot more malleable than you think. It makes me think of when someone has like a giant lump of dough and then they throw it on the counter. It's just like that's not the final shape that the dough is gonna take. You can still knead it and, like before you bake it and stuff, Some of you guys may get into a TV show these next 3 weeks, or something about a TV show could be significant. Especially horror, if you guys like horror. A wish will be granted these next 3 weeks. Because I feel like whatever it is that you may be wishing for, you may have suffered a lot for it. I feel like you guys have gone through a lot, and you guys are you guys are troopers. You guys have a lot of love to give. You guys are amazing people. Do you understand that when people are acting a certain way about you, it's because they're trying to figure you out? I'd say don't get too mad at that because if you were them, you would understand because you are a very fascinating person, so don't take it personally. But also don't act as if though that's like you owe them an explanation or something or that you have to make sense to them, That's just what it is, It is what it is. Yeah. Okay. I also think it's very interesting that your guys' wax thing kind of like it was the smallest candle, yet it took up the most space, I feel. So a little will go a long way these next few weeks. And I feel like that can apply in so many different ways. It makes me think of when people do their makeup, a little goes a long way. Or, when you're cooking, a little bit of seasoning goes a long way. So apply that in whatever resonates, and do understand that you don't overdo it. You can always add, but you can't really take away. If there are loose ends these next few weeks, or if you feel like there are unanswered questions, do know that they will be answered with time. But things will require their own timeline, and I feel like there's a lot of seeds that will be planted for you guys. I don't know. I'm just like thinking of like all these little droplets of wax inside. They look like black holes, or they look like potholes, or like plot holes. So it's just a sense of like, I feel like there will be things that don't really make sense once again until they kind of reach their final form. Also, I heard octopus in the beginning because of this droplet right here. I don't know why, but it looked like it looked like an octopus to me, and specifically like a blue ringed octopus for some reason. That's where I got the beautiful but deadly from. Pretty, beautiful but dangerous kind of vibe, because blue ring octopuses are like really venomous. But I also feel like you guys will be adapting a lot, or I feel like there will be a lot of situations that require you to be very flexible. But I feel like it's nothing you cannot handle, and I feel like that's why it's really important that you release any emotions, or that you vent properly and express yourself, so that way, as you are in the midst of constantly adjusting, you're not getting too agitated or too rigid within the process. Keep yourself malleable and keep yourself relaxed. Release tension. So yeah, that's all I have for you, Group 3. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the reading resonated, and if it did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you'd like a personal reading from me, I do offer those in my Etsy shop, which will be linked down below. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Again, I love you. Bye.